Hello there and welcome to Not Another Sci-Fi channel. My name is Vali and this is The Night's Watch. In last night's episode, Winterfell, we learned that the Night's Watch have been ordered to abandon the still occupied castles along the wall and retreat to Winterfell. Since the army of the dead had broken through, there was little point in them staying behind. And so, for the first time in history, the Night's Watch have abandoned the wall. Do not tell Donald Trump. He will declare a national emergency in Westeros. Right, as I was saying, the Night's Watch was a military order which holds and guards the wall, the immense ice structure which separates the northern border of the Seven Kingdoms from the lands beyond. The order was led by the Lord Commander, and its headquarters was located in the stronghold of Castle Black. The Night's Watch is organized in 3 departments: the Rangers, who fight, defend the wall, and patrol the haunted forest. Not those guys. Those guys. The Builders. I wonder what they do for a living. Well, obviously they maintain the wall and castles. And the Stewards, who empty chamber pots. Talk about a shitty occupation. According to legend, the Night's Watch was founded 8,000 years ago. They now protect the Seven Kingdoms from threats beyond the northern border, such as White Walkers, wildlings, and ice giants. They man a vast structure known as the Wall, a 700-foot/200 meter tall and 300 miles/500 kilometer long barrier which separates the Seven Kingdoms from the lands in the north. Trump is so proud of them and their big beautiful wall, he invited them to the Winter White House for a burger party, but given the fact that Sam Tarly was on a diet, they respectfully declined. And shortly thereafter, 2 of the Night's Watch new recruits were seen taking a knee. Anyway, moving on. The Watch have built 19 castles along the southern edge of the wall to house their men. However, over the years many were abandoned. They also control a region south of the wall known as the Gift, from which they obtain supplies and provisions. The region was donated them by House Stark, the kings in the north, arguably some of history's first philanthropists. Good old Starks. Members of the Night's Watch swear an oath of duty that prohibits marriage, family, land ownership, which lasts until their death. Recruits renounce all past allegiances and birthrights. Joining the Watch provides absolution from past crimes and immunity from further punishment. Brothers start with a clean slate and can rise within the ranks whatever their origins. So, in a lot of ways, taking the black is a lot like becoming a Jedi, except you don't have any powers. And not even Valyrian steel can compare to a lightsaber. And meditation is not at the heart of the Night's Watch doctrine, and their members have often engaged in degenerate, unforgivable behavior. But in the way that really counts, the Night's Watch is exactly like the Jedi Order. They understand the importance and actively use the advantage of having the high ground. Even though the Night's Watch vows are meant to be for life, it is possible for one to leave the organization without execution, so long as it is within the ruling monarch's approval. For instance, Stannis Baratheon, a claimant to the Iron Throne and king in the Narrow Sea, offers Jon Snow a chance to leave the Night's Watch and serve him in exchange for legitimization. Though, this may be partially due to the fact that the Night's Watch is not taken as seriously by most as it once was, and Stannis was desperate enough to turn to Jon Snow for aid. The Night's Watch members describe one another as sworn brothers because of the oath. Men of the Watch dress entirely in black, giving rise to the nicknames Crows, which is what the free folk commonly call them, or sometimes as Black Brothers, though I don't think they are allowed to use the N-word. Members of the Night's Watch are not specifically forbidden from seeing their families, but they cannot leave the wall without permission. Desertion is punishable by death. First Ranger Benjen Stark would often visit his family at Winterfell while representing the Night's Watch. The Watch was once highly regarded, and their ranks were filled with volunteers from noble houses, as serving was a sign of selfless devotion to the protection of the realm. However, while the Night's Watch still has noble-born sons and noble-blooded illegitimate sons from the great houses, many recruits are now also criminals avoiding punishment, nobles avoiding scandal, orphans, and other social outcasts. Men known as wandering crows, such as Sorin, travel around the 7 kingdoms gathering recruits for the Watch, offering them escape on the Wall. For some families, the Wall is a convenient place to exile embarrassing or disgraced family members. By the reign of King Robert Baratheon, the institution has fallen into disrepair and is largely ignored by the throne. It is severely undermanned. Dwindling numbers have led to all but 3 of the Wall's 19 castles being abandoned. Besides Castle Black, the Shadow Tower, and Eastwatch-by-the-Sea are the only other castles that are still manned. And they would be women too, if not for the extreme sexism going on in Westeros. The Night's Watch is more egalitarian compared to the rest of Westeros, and at the Wall, every man is given what he earns. No matter their status, recruits can become high-ranking officers and commanders for their service. However, the Night's Watch is not completely egalitarian, as both noble-born sons and illegitimate sons of lords are favored for advancement over those with no noble blood. So, even in the place where hell literally froze over and the life expectancy of its members is severely reduced by factors such as White Walkers, Wild Folk, Ice Giants, and the occasional dissent and uprising of some of the more unscrupulous members of the Watch, even here the rich find a way to cheat the system and open doors for their spoiled brats. I'm going off the rails again, sorry about that. Well friends, this concludes our brief history on the Night's Watch. I want to thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Till next time, our watch has ended.